So, I found the gold bars. 5 out of 5. I haven't found the bottles.
And all souls remaining here are damned. The streets crawl with Nazi zombies. Find the...
I'm trying not to take too long. I'm not sure in this game, but it's a headshot. When you guys want to go for high combo counts, you just use a shotgun. What am I currently using? PPSH. I gotta hold to switch to. I'm hearing a sniper. Yep. Yeah, these fuckers are hard to avoid. It's been a while. I don't think there's a duck and roll mechanic in this game. That big sniper elite moment. Getting old. And I was gonna have this discussion. I was in the middle of having it on Friday night with my friends, but the combo is lost. But the conversation came to be because we saw. We went to a mall, alright, we went to this arcade at the mall, and, we were just doing that, and, I was just playing the usual House of the Dead 4, and, Ice Ball, that game where you insert your coins, tokens, or whatever currency that arcade uses, or a card or whatever, and then all of a sudden it drops these like 8 or 9 balls, and you're supposed to throw them through this like little ramp thing, and they're supposed to land in the little holes. I love Ice Ball. I think other people call it Skee Ball. I don't know what exactly it's called, but either way, to me, it's one of the best, most addictive things, next to the pinball machines, which I always like to do. And now, granted, I have done a little bit of Dance Dance Revolution, and honestly, yeah, I don't know, it is what it is. However, there's a mall, so we started going to this mall, and then long story short, we made it into a GameStop, and we saw a trailer for Dead Island 2, like not Dead Island Riptide, not a trailer, but a poster for the Dead Island game. At first I didn't notice the poster, but I noticed a copy of the game, it said coming soon. And I picked it up and I'm like, wow, Dead Island 2, wait, this came out? And then so we just sort of paused for a second. We're like, whoa, why isn't anyone talking about this? As we all collectively agreed that, like, nobody was talking about this release. Like, it wasn't even brought to my attention. I don't even remember seeing a Google article about it or anything like that. Because people would be talking about Dead Island 2. Everyone's aware of that one weird trailer where that guy is infected. And people were talking about, like, the potential for the game, and then people were also talking about, okay, well, Dying Light's like the spiritual successor of Dead Island. That's questionable. Like, we can talk about that. We can discuss that. And I can tell you why it's sort of true and why it's sort of not true. But we can spend a long time talking about that. However, it's clear. And they got a whole development team for this game, and I mean, it's been in years in development. I'm pretty sure this game has to release with a lot of either A, it's going to have two things. It's going to release with a lot of bugs, or it's going to release perfectly fine. Because, I mean, this thing has been going through a lot of development, and now it's in a period where there's two consoles. Current gen and last gen. Or new gen and last gen. And that's sort of the point where we're at now, right? PS4, PS5, PS4 are still around, and rightfully so. I'd give the PS4 probably another 2 more years worth of lifespan where there will be games that will still be released on both consoles. Because A, I'm pretty sure people know, Sony knows, not everyone has a PS5. A lot of the PS5s that are sold are not used. In the sense that A, they're bought up by bots and scalpers. And about like 1/3 of the whole community doesn't have them. And so, A, you're not going to sell the games. Because here's the thing, bro. PS5 sales are up, PS5 games are down. See how that works? And so, you know, Sony's really not making as much money as they would probably like to from their PlayStation Store than they would normally do on PS4. And this is because everyone already has a PS4. So of course there's going to be that like transitional year, right? Where there's still going to be games released normally, but then of course, you know, there has to be PS5 exclusives, next-gen exclusives. Those were so hyped. A lot of these games like Demon's Souls, and like all that, but at the same time, we're at a point now where, you know, we're talking about Silent Hill 2 remake. Like, there's a lot of important games that will be coming out, and so it's a good time to get a PS5. Now the market for the PS5s are starting to slow down, where they're not nearly as outrageous as they were back when they got launched. Okay, the sniper zombies piss me off. Alright. But, yeah, no, so, you know, we were discussing this, like, Silent Hill 2 is, like, 21 years old, almost. I'm pretty sure, like, 20 or 21 years old. It's a 20-year-old game. This game has been around as long as I've been around. You know? Metal Gear and Resident Evil have been out even longer. I mean, this is getting really ridiculous. Like, I'm pretty sure the original Resident Evil is going on like 30 years old now. I think it's like late 20s, like 28 or 29. Came out in 1995. And it's 2023. When it hits 2025, I think it'll be 30 years old. Yeah. So, either way we look at it, like these games, these classics are just getting really old. And it's not a bad thing, but the other thing is, movies, like, you know, and here's the other thing, right? The category of zombies, this is mainly what we're going to be focusing on, is zombies, right? The category of zombies is going through a very strange time, because A, horror games in their entirety are coming back. We're going through a horror renaissance right now. We got the Callisto Protocol, which is a game that's heavily based on, not based on, but heavily inspired by the Dead Space. Dead Space was inspired by Resident Evil. But now, you know, we've gotten to the point where, you know, like, zombies are no longer, like, the huge thing, right? When zombie games are coming out, you know, good ones are coming out, like Dead Rising, Black Ops Zombies was just perfect. Obviously, zombie Trilogy. But you know, and I think part of it is like the movies, right? So like, when Night of the Living Dead came out, you know, it was heavily like influential. But the thing is, like, it was limited. Like, nobody was just making zombie movies. Fuck. Well, anyway, so you know, I was watching. Oh, also at the mall, right? So they had like this cool video store. Like it wasn't like a video rental store. It was like a movie store. You could buy used movies, stuff like that. And I actually found a copy of the remake of Night of the Living Dead. I purchased that. I plan on doing a review kind of thing when I go over the movie and how it compares to the original. And fun fact, this is my first time actually watching the remake of that film. I had already watched reviews for it way back when I was a kid, so maybe something I'd be interested in, and it just seemed like, you know, it's just like cheesy remake of a classic. And so back then I just automatically assumed what it was versus trying to, you know, figure out what it was. And I'm going to be honest with you, my expectations were so low for this, and I think that's why I expected it to be partially good because it is a remake of an amazing classic that I'm just a huge fan of. And so I did have some sort of expectation. It wasn't like I was just going into this with 100%, you know, shred of doubt. But at the same time, as much as this movie is a classic, Night of the Living Dead is very dated. Not only as a zombie film, but as a horror movie entirely. upon actually replaying this game, I now see like the joy of playing this game. It is completely different from Sniper Elite. Although playing these games back to back will seriously make you either annoyed of one or the other. But with that being said, I still think that like, I don't know, man. I still think this is a great game. I got so far off track because I'm playing the game live, and I'm really trying to eagerly make it past this. Remember back when zombie movies were fun? You know, like Dawn of the Dead, the original. Just a fun zombie movie. Kinda sucks. There's really no prone. If there was a prone in this, that'd be pretty sweet. Fight to the cathedral. Anyway, one of the big things that I think there's just not enough fun zombie movies anymore, man. They don't really make zombie movies like how they used to. I mean, you know, when we got like Land of the Dead, and I think that was my generation's good zombie movie that was not a remake. I even took the time to watch that Army of the Dead movie, that Netflix one. Yeah, I truly believe that Land of the Dead was my generation's fun zombie movie. Oh, come on. Rechamber. Come on, rechamber your round. Come on, come on. Oh my god, I missed. It'd be really awesome if they had perks in this game. When selecting a loadout. But no, seriously, I'm kind of mad at this part of. I normally don't do that, but that's where I rank them because they're not bad or boring movies by any means. When I was a kid, I hated these films. I mean, seriously, I was just so lost with them. 28 days later, I felt had a really fucking awesome opening, but then the rest of the movie for me really dragged. Upon rewatching it as an adult, I came to appreciate what the movie is. But 28 weeks later, has a more complicated storyline, and I appreciate it, but it also has the same issue. I feel like the movie just drags. It's just not my forte. But the other movie I really liked, zombie-wise, was The Return of the Living Dead, the first two in the series. The third one kind of fell apart for me. Even though a lot of people really hated the second one because I also agree the second one was kind of dog shit. I mean, rightfully so, people like criticize that film for being really lame, and I mean, it mostly is, though. Anyway, guys, I think that's just enough of me bitching. I'm just gonna get offline and go to bed. I don't know about you guys, man, but I feel really old. The other zombie movies that I really liked growing up were just the simple, you know, zombie apocalypse, because, you know, whatever bullshit gone wrong. I don't know. To me, I thought the crazies, I mean, whilst they're not zombies, I felt like the vibes of a zombie apocalypse are very close with the crazies. Um, but in general, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like zombie games are sort of disconnecting with what, you know, what really made fun zombie games awesome. For instance, we had that, Back for Blood. I think that game would be way cooler if there was no special infected. World War Z was a movie, and whilst it was a really great, awesome zombie movie, I feel like it also lacks the basic principles of what makes a zombie apocalypse movie super good. Because for me, it's all about simplicity. Simple characters that are complex over time, that grow on you throughout the film. And, you know, I feel like Return of the Living Dead really does that. They're not exactly complex, they're very simple characters. And the story is really simple, but it has a story. Yeah, there's a lot of zombie carnage, but the zombies in the Return series, they can't die by conventional means. Because, yeah, you can't shoot them to death. I like zombies where it's not just headshots that can kill them. I like zombies where headshots that instantly kill them, and multiple gunshots over time can slow them down to the point where they'll eventually die. I don't know, but The Walking Dead as a zombies series really was our staple of zombies, and for my generation, because it was a TV show. If there was another zombie TV show or whatever, you know, it's whatever it would be. But the Dawn of the Living Dead series, not the series, but the whole Dead series, it had 3 remakes. And then it had Survival of the Dead, Land of the Dead, and then there was going to be Twilight of the Dead. But ultimately, though, that got canceled. I don't know who has the rights to Twilight of the Dead. When George A. Romero passed away, God rest his soul, he was clever, he's a great guy, but let's see.